Welcome to the Talk of the Town podcast here with under 18 manager Alan Young. Alan, really good turnout today.
Yeah.
40 lads for our trial day for Dunstable Town. How do you feel it went?
Yeah, it was good. It's the first week. So, we've had 40 down, which is really good numbers. That's 40, not including the players that are staying with us from the first year that will come into the second year next year. So, numbers are good. It's the first week, so we'll filter down probably about 10 at the moment. And then we'll look to go again next week. It's really important that we give them every opportunity. So it's not something that we'll just cut off for the first week. We'll carry on for the next 2 or 3 weeks and, been really honest with the guys. But yeah, it's good that we've had that many players turn out.
How important are things like this for the football club? Obviously, with everything that's going on at the minute, we're trying to progress everything within the club. But when you do a day like this, how important is that for the football club at Dunstable Town?
I think it's important for any football club, to be honest with you, that's operating at that step 5, step 4 football level, step 6, where you have this opportunity to do the floodweight. And having trials like this means that you are giving the opportunity to players that have maybe come through different pathways or different clubs. And then similarly, it's also important that as a club, you also bring through that youth development. But once you get to this under 18s, it's really important that the doors are open. We can bring players from other areas and from other teams, because you've got that transition into the first team. And you never know, you might just have a trial for an under 18 who could be the next future striker for the first team, or defender, or goalkeeper. So as a club, it's really important at under 18s that you do have that open trial session.
How much does your success last season play a part on getting players down now? Because people probably see what you guys done last season, and you've done tremendous things. You were competing on all fronts.
Yeah.
What part does that play in it?
Oh, massive. I mean, I think, look, there was a good buzz around last year. I think there was a little bit of unsurety around the under 18s around that July time. Then when we spoke to the club, it was like, come on, let's get it together. In all honesty, we trialled late, so a lot of the players had already committed, but we were just really fortunate. We had a good nucleus of lads that had come through. The ones that were previously with the last squad of under 18 stayed with us. And then we recruited quite well in the season. It was good. I think what's important though is the coverage that you guys do as well, and the way the club are in terms of covering stuff. And people knew what we were doing down at Creasy Park. They knew what the buzz was of the under 18s on a Thursday night, and that was just testament to the media stuff as well that's done by yourself and James and people like that, and George, who takes the photographs and stuff. So people get to visually see what's going down in the club and what's happening. And I think that's why we've got the numbers down we have today. I think there's a good buzz around it.
Talk us through the process, Al. Obviously, you've had from the first trial date now that you've had. What is the process of, it's football. We know it's a cutthroat business. Some lads will make it, some won't.
Yeah.
How's the process work from the first trial day, which is today, to when you start the season, really?
Yeah, so I mean, what we're looking at, listen, it's, as I say, you've got to give people every opportunity. What are we looking at? I mean, first of all, when you're at 50 lads, you're looking at that technical ability. Okay, you're not looking in that game environment. They're not really in a game environment. They're bit dull. It's really just that technical ability with the ball. Can they make the decision? Can they bring the ball in? Can they, how quick is the decision? Are they holding on to the ball too long, etc.? So that's your first week. We'll fizzle out, out of 40, sort of 10, maybe 50. And then next week, we'll bring an under 16s team in. We'll put them in a game environment, and then we'll start to really see what they are in terms of a player. And then we'll go on again the next week. I think it's really important when you're doing the trials, it's just not cut off. I think what you've got to do is make sure that it's over a sort of 2 to 3 week period. I mean, we made mistakes last year. We said to a couple of players last year that we didn't feel that we could give them enough game time. And I think that's important as well, because you have to be honest with them. And by the time we'd played 2 or 3 games, we regretted a couple of the decisions, and certainly some of the players that we let go. So,
with the influx of academies around where we are, Luton, you've got Watford up the road. How important is it, you think, that we can try and keep some of these players? Because I speak to a lot of parents last year when I went to some youth games, and some of the lads and parents come to Dunstable first year games. They don't feel that it's good that everyone wants to get to an academy. All these young lads would love to be professional footballers, but you sometimes can get lost in an academy. For us, how important is it that we try and keep the good players at Dunstable Town, and like you say, eventually get to our first team. Because I sometimes feel that, you might get shuffled off to an academy and you don't get that experience of playing quote unquote adults football. Is that something that you're keen to?
Yeah, I think we said that to the lads at the start of the trial. I mean, once you're in that academy setting, once you come out, I mean, for me, within sort of the semi-pro grassroots, this is the highest level that they should be competing at. Once they're not in that academy level, ultimately, and as we said to them there, if you can get yourself in and around the first team squad of a step 5, step 4 football club, that is the top level that you're going to get to once you're released out of that academy, especially at 16 and 17. Professional clubs have already sort of signed the players on and made them decisions. So for me, this is the next best level. Certainly at the age of 17, certainly at the age 16, 17, 18, because the career's only really starting within the adult football. So I would say sort of coming to play for Dunstable Town and playing at this level is actually the highest level that they should be competing at once if they are released from that academy. And similarly, the lads that are coming from the youth leagues and stuff like that have been with the youth clubs and stuff, this is, it's playing at Creasy Park and playing for Dunstable Town is a big thing, and we were really fortunate. We are fortunate, that the first team manager, Steve, is brilliant and his team are great. And we were very fortunate to have 5 or 6 play in train with the first team last year. And as you know, we had a couple signed. And actually, we've had a couple that have come back to us that played for us last year that have asked if they can come back training. Steve's got them in and around the first team. So I think the first team manager and the staff at the first team is really important. It's really important.
Last one from me out. How do you build on last season's great season? I mean, got to go and win the league, haven't you?
Yeah. I don't want to commit myself too soon because, look, it's really competitive under 18s football. I think the only way you can build is we made some mistakes last year. So I don't think it's about the players. I think as a management team, we made some mistakes. We made some selection mistakes. I told you we made some mistakes at trial. So for us, the only way I can put this squad into a best possible position for this year is to learn from the mistakes that we've made and make sure we don't make them again. And I'll speak to you at the end of the season.
We'll definitely do that. Al, we're going to keep in touch with you throughout the season now. Obviously, I know Luke's heavily involved with the club now as well. We're going to do more things like this to you, boy, mate. Keep up the hard work, mate. You're doing a great job.
Cheers,
Cheers, mate.
Thank you. Cheers.